to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts and allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. You can always find this haunted house of a podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. I am, of course, your host, Mike G, in Google Play. I thought I forgot. I don't forget anything. With me, as always, is my salamandery co-host.
What's up, you jerks?
Wow. He's coming at y'all throats.
Yeah. Now, comment on whether you know where that catchphrase, which podcast that's a catchphrase from.
I have no idea. There's so many out there, and I don't listen to like.
How many podcasts do you listen to?
Like 20? Like Michael?
20?
Like 20. And they all pretty much talk about the same stuff.
Oh man, I used to be deep into it. I was deep undercover. I had a 120 podcast at one time.
Yikes! Yeah, man.
I was back I was doing schoolwork on the computer at my house, and I didn't have a job, so just headphones 24/7.
Straight up.
Oh, and I did have a job loading ice, so there was very little conversation. So
you were the ice man.
Yeah, and learning about true crime, learning about history of theology, and then learning about serial killers. So true crime again.
True crime all the way through, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Dude, did you cause any crimes this week?
No, I've actually prevented a few. Well, that's
sweet. Good. You're like RoboCop, man.
No, I'm more like Judge Dredd nowadays.
It's like you're literally the law. You are the law.
Yeah.
I am the law. Sorry. But yeah, did you have to use your peacemaker this time around?
By peace, if you mean pillow to whack kids over the head with, yeah.
Oh, speaking of automatic weapon, but I always like guns with cool names like the Justifier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just cool.
Well, it's all to
the
get
Oathbreaker.
To get your like your inner masculine drive to go like, oh, I want that one.
Man,
yeah.
When I was a kid, I always wanted the Spaceballs flamethrower until I found out they didn't sell it, and I was super upset for a whole summer. Wasn't happy with that. Yeah, dead sorry. Like, I don't know how to follow that up. I was a 5-year-old who wanted a flamethrower. This says quite a lot about me.
I used to do some pretty stupid stuff with flames when I was a kid. I remember I was working at a boat shop, and we had to have gas there. And then we had I brought a mason jar home full of gas.
Yeah.
And then we started a brush fire, and I chucked that mason jar into the fire, and it cracked and
wow.
made this cool explosion. I'm like, this is sick. So
and then Pyro was born.
Yeah. And then I spilled some gas on the ground at work, and then I lit it with a candle. One of those clicks to turn on sort of things, those extended lighters, and then it just had like a pile of flame on the floor. And then I go, oh, I better put this out, so that I get the hose to put it out, and then it just increased the rate of the fire. Like, okay,
pyro,
so I just start stomping it on the ground, and then my boss goes, "What the hell are you doing out there?" Go, nothing.
The most I did was I had an obsession with matches, so I go around striking matches and seeing how long it could take before I put it out. See, the fire goes all the way down to your finger. I used to do like those lethal weapon fire endurance tests, like Mr. Joshua, and my mom got super irritated because they were just like dead matches all over the house. Yeah. Why are there all these matches? So she literally banned matches from the house, and then I got my little money and bought me a Zippo, and that was a whole thing because I was really into Zippos as a kid. Like I thought they were the coolest.
All kids are interested in Zippos. I think they're shiny, they make a good noise, and they're fire.
Yeah, it's really satisfying, to get that Zippo click. You know what I'm saying? I tried learning all click, boom. But yeah, Zippos are awesome. They're just nah. Mm-hmm. The cool lighter I have now is one of those Tesla lighters that like creates like a arc. It creates an electrical arc, and that's how you light stuff with.
Now, why do you need that?
Because I like burning incense and candles.
Incense, huh?
Yeah, I'm an asthmatic. I couldn't smoke if I wanted to.
No, one of those.
In fact, I may burn a candle right now because you mentioned it. In fact, I hope that picked up because that was the sound of my lighter. And I'm going to burn.
You heard it here, folks. He's one of those incense guys. He's one step closer to getting a ponytail in the back and wearing loose shirts and burning sage around the house.
I would be that
incense every now and then.
I would super be that old guy. We go to his house and he has the bead shades, right? With the incense burning.
It's a bead shades for the front of the house. There's no like locked door. It's just come on.
There's no locked doors. Come on in. You want something? You hungry?
We're
come in my house.
In the middle of Los Angeles. Come
on. I was at Venice Beach and I saw the coolest incense holder ever. It was just a dragon.
Yeah.
And you put the incense into the back of the dragon's head, and the smoke came out the dragon's mouth. It was so sick. I was so broke.
So let me make a joke. If it was Venice Beach, let me tell you, that wasn't just for incense. Whoa.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna give a real quick pro tip for those who aren't
from couples. Okay, next topic.
No, just real quick because I may save somebody's life. Don't stay at Venice Beach past dawn or dusk, rather. Don't do it because it becomes Michael Jackson's Thriller after a certain time, and you don't want to be out there on Venice Beach.
George Michael's Thriller at a certain time.
Venice Beach at night is possibly the scariest situation I've been in my life. Venice Beach is rough, dude. I literally saw people like fighting each other on the sands at a distance, and they weren't punching; they were clawing. So it's like, you know what? It's time for me to go. So little teenage Mike had to get out of there. Run! Next thing you know, the zombies start coming out. You hear that dum dum, boom, dum dum. Time to go. Get out of there. Oh man. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. Did you get chased by zombies this week? What else did you do?
I got chased by inner demons of other people.
Damn.
And
empath life.
And it was like, isn't it Bill Cosby that has like a bit about saying, Jeffrey, don't do this. Jeffrey, don't do that.
Jeffrey was bad as hell, man.
Yeah. So amplify that to multiple kids at the youth center that I had to say that to.
Infinite Jeffreys.
Yeah. But I applied for a different job elsewhere, so we'll see how that goes.
Raise your hands to the sky and create a spirit bomb of hope for Winter so he can get that job, whatever.
I have a good feeling about this one. Yeah.
Good, man. I'll keep you in my thoughts. Yeah, man. Yeah. So
working
did you
for the district attorney's office?
Oh man, he's the man. The Harvey Dent over here, Yeah, man. Did you keep up with the Nicolas Cage-a-thon that you've been going through, man?
Oh, the Cage-a-thon?
Yeah.
That took a hiatus because I've watched Con Air recently. That would be the next one on my list. That or Mom and Dad, but I can't get interested with the Mom and Dad movie right now. I watched other films. I watched what was it? I watched the first 5 minutes of My Left Foot, and then I switched over to Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Nice.
And I went to Across the Universe, which I said I was going to watch the first hour of until they got to the song that I like of it. There's 2 songs I like out of the movie. There's when they do Revolution, and then when they do Happiness is a Warm Gun.
Yeah.
And Little Did and also Come Together, because they have my man Joe Cocker singing it.
Nice. I love me some Beatles, man. What's your favorite Beatles song?
I also like I Am the Walrus. It's also YouTube. Bono sings it in Across the Universe. Not a good one. Yeah. Favorite Beatles song? It's changed over the years. So high school, I liked Here Comes the Sun because I could play it, and I got all the ladies looking at me playing the guitar doing that song. Richie Havens style. Look that up.
Yeah.
You know Richie Havens?
I'm familiar with his work, but I do know that cover though.
Yes. Just picture cover. If Dave Matthews did a Here Comes the Sun cover.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah. There's then I went to I Want You So Bad, She's So Heavy.
Nice. That's a good one.
And then I went into Dig It.
You like a lot of like the B-sides and stuff, huh?
Yeah. Then I went to Helter Skelter because I went through a phase. And then I liked we're just getting through the life of winter here. Why don't we do it on the road? Because I like the story behind that. That's when the band is literally splintering apart. The band leaves the recording studio, and then when they come back, Paul McCartney has already written a song, and then they go, okay, well, we play all the other parts, right? I'm British. And then he goes, no, I've already done all the other parts. You don't have to do anything.
Damn. That's when you just say, I guess I'm going home, says John Lennon, you know.
But my favorite right now is Bulldog. Hey, Bulldog.
Hey, Bulldog.
Because it's making a resurgence.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
In Pog form.
And it reminds me of if Kurt Cobain was still alive and he did a cover of that song, I could imagine it being sick.
Man, you make my choices sound so surface level.
Yeah, top that.
I can't.
You like Get Back? Pfft.
I know. Only like Get Back because it was in the Justice League trailer. No. Mm-hmm. I heard for the first time. I heard a cover of Eleanor Rigby by Aretha Franklin, and it made me cry.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's stupid good. Cover. Yeah, like I like Dear Prudence a lot for some odd reason.
Yeah,
you know, of course,
I like Dear Prudence.
There. Speaking of, you said George Michael earlier, and he does a killer cover of The Long and Winding Road. That is just
I keep seeing that in my YouTube suggestions.
Really damn good. Anywho,
and I think Roxy Music does a cover of it as well. Do you know Roxy Music and Brian Ferry?
I do know Brian Ferry. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I do not like his voice. Let's just say that. Okay. It's like if you could get a rat to sing,
right?
I would picture his voice being.
If you could audibly hear an octopus scream, is what this guy sounds like. Yeah. Just put your ear to the ocean.
So can you agree with me that there's 2 songs? And so, welcome back to the Beatlecast.
I know, right?
2 songs of the Beatles that do not age well.
Okay,
I'm gonna let you guess which ones I think they are.
Jeez, that's rough, dude. Hello, hello.
I'm just talking about lyrical wise.
Back to the USSR.
No, that's actually more
present
than ever. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going early Beatles.
Damn. You're putting me on the spot here. Just tell me, because the ones I'm thinking of are way too commercial.
Okay. So this happened when I was watching on TV Paul McCartney at 68 or whatever age he is now singing this song, and the lyrics go, well, she was just 17, yeah, no what I mean. And I'm like, what do you mean, old man?
What do you mean, pervy old bastard? Explain.
And then cut to Ringo Starr,
wow.
then singing on his own special, talking about boys now.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's rough.
I gotta
different time.
Yeah, I gotta find the lyrics to that.
Different times.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I like the Beatles. I was more a Beatles guy than a Stones guy, and usually that's the kind of like, are you Beatles or do you like the Stones? So I was like, I didn't like the Stones until I was like in my late 20s. Like I didn't really listen to what they had to talk about.
So sorry, this is the chorus. Well, I talk about boys. Don't you know I mean boys? Well, I talk about boys now. Ah, boys. Well, I talk about boys now. What a bundle of joy. And then in parentheses, all right, George. And then that's the solo, I'm assuming.
Yeah, man, he likes them boys. I realized late in life what the song Daniel was about by Elton John. And I just never put it together, like you listen to these things as kids. It's like my dad was a huge Elton John, George Michael kind of head. So that was on in the house, like Candle in the Wind and a lot of Wham in the house. And I just never put it together until you're like older. I'm like, oh, he misses Daniel. He misses him so much. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, it's the 60s. There's some girls named Daniel. So it's
Daniela.
Perfectly fine.
I miss Daniela. Man. Oh, speaking of which, if you guys haven't heard, there are 2 albums out right now. They're all covers of Elton John songs. One's called Revamp, and like a bunch of popular artists are seeing a lot of covers, and there's a country version that does a lot of Elton John. Both albums are to buy. Purchase those. They're really good if you're Elton John head. Yeah.
Yes. And if you're not, you can go buy the 3 CDs that this band called Beetlegrass did, which are them doing bluegrass covers of Beatles songs.
Nice.
And they do a killer rendition of Lady Madonna.
Ooh. But
and by the way, I do a YouTube recommendation.
Of course.
Look up John Lennon and Chuck Berry singing together. I think Roll Over Beethoven.
Nice.
And Yoko Ono steals the show, I will say, to the point where Chuck Berry looks like, what the hell is this woman doing behind me?
Man, I was listening to The Girl Is Mine by Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney the other day. I was like, I forgot this song existed, and it's like really good. And they have a conversation. They have an arguing match between Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. It's like, Paul's getting the girl, man. The girl's not yours, Mike. I don't think Anywho,
let's get to the news, because we can talk about the Beatles. We can talk about everything pre-'80s for the rest of our lives.
Okay, just real quick, so people won't bother me. I didn't have a week. I really didn't have a week. I just played more Monster Hunter, and I watched Thor Ragnarok again. It's still funny. It's still cotton candy. It's not really. It's man. So I really didn't have a week. So it's fine. As Winter has eloquently displayed, let's get into the news. Explosions.
Yeah. So who did you vote for? That's the news. Hot title.
I would not. No, actually, I did vote. If you need, go vote, people. Even if you have someone voting for you, just know what they're talking about, and so you'll co-sign with it. But vote for real. That's a big news thing. Do it.
Yes. We are sponsored by Libertarian President candidate.
I know, right?
Just kidding.
We're sponsored.
Dallas Morning Star, or whatever his name was.
What is he? What is he? The devil?
No, he's a rapper. So most white people think he's the devil.
Ooh,
got him.
Got him. Give me that neck.
I'm like a relevant Martin Lawrence. There you go.
I am a socially awake Dennis Miller. Oh, I used to love Dennis Miller. He's such an asshat now. Anywho, speaking of movie stars, there's a lot of trailers that dropped this week that I want to talk about. So let's do a trailer roundup.
Right.
Sorry, that was my Bonanza song. So let's shoot these out real quick. The one that comes to mind that's not on this list is the Bumblebee trailer. Did you have a chance to check this out?
Yeah, I saw it. Actually saw it today, and I'm like, I could not get excited for it, but there was people that were, so
yeah,
I could see it.
It's only reason I got excited is because Starscream's in it, and I super love me some Starscream. He's my favorite Transformer. So that's what got me excited because I was kind of like yawning, and then I was like, okay, the trailer has nothing. It doesn't feel like a Michael Bay movie, which is the most exciting thing about the trailer. You know, it's gone. The smell, the Axe body spray of Michael Bay is completely cleaned off of this franchise. It feels like, and it's so refreshing to see people emote and actually act. And it's like not in Megan Fox cleavage and shoved down your throat. You know what I mean? It just feels.
How dare you?
I dare.
She is acting.
It's not her fault. Michael Bay's camera is what did it. Oh, jeez. But the trailer, it felt fresh. It felt like they're really trying to do something different. I'm happy that that B is the only Transformer maybe in the movie because it gives focus on him. It's kind of like, it kind of give me an Iron Giant kind of feel. But even if it's half as good as Iron Giant, then it will be a success. You know what I mean?
That is blasphemous, sir. That is blasphemous to put those two together.
Superman. I'm saying if it's half as good, then we're okay.
You can pick any other movie, but don't ruin Iron Giant for me.
Iron Giant is not sullied by the mention of Bumblebee, the Bumblebee movie. I'm just, and what the kicker is for me is the director. I think his name is Travis Knight. I could be wrong, but this is the guy who did the Coraline movies. He did Paranorman. He did the Box Trolls, and he did Kubo and the Two Strings, which is one of my favorite movies of last year. This is his first live action movie, and I love all of those stop motion movies because they're brilliant and they have good scripts and the action's great. So him alone will get me to use a movie pass for this movie. Because I love his work so much. So when I found that out, that was kind of like the nail in the coffin. Like, yeah, I'm going to go check this out. What's happening? Oh, man.
All right.
Speaking of nails in coffins, let's talk about the Addams Family live action, not live action. There's going to be a Addams Family.
And the cookie. They're all
mysterious and spooky. They're all together, ookie. The Addams Family. The house is a museum where people come to see them. They really are a scream. The Addams Family. You started this. Let me finish. No, I'm just kidding. They're getting an animated feature film. It's coming out probably on theaters. If not Netflix. Everything retreats to Netflix when it's not confident. And it's a pretty good cast so far, if I remember correctly. What's his face from Ex Machina and Star Wars? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's playing. You know what I'm talking about? He plays
Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese. Chevy Chase. No, he plays Dameron Poe. He's going to be Morticia and what's damn it. I can't remember his name. Beetlejuice. Morticia and Gomez Adams. He plays Gomez. I believe Charlize Theron.
Oscar Isaac.
Thank you. Oscar Isaac is playing.
Charlize Theron is playing Morticia.
Yes. Chloe Moretz is playing Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
And I think there's a couple of other actors that are tied to it. But
Nick Kroll, Uncle Fester.
I don't know who that is.
Nick Kroll?
No.
From The League. From Big Mouth. From the Nick Kroll Show.
Damn.
From
David Letterman, from the David Letterman Show.
Yeah. I think it's titled Too Much Tuna with John Mulaney on Netflix.
He sounds funny. I know Big Mouth is a big show, and I tried watching some of that on Netflix, but it was a little too crude for me for some odd reason.
Well, that's Nick Kroll for you.
Yeah, man, that's fine. If he's good, then he's good, man. Did you watch any of the movies when you were a kid, like with Raul Julia and
Oh
Angelica
yeah,
Houston?
I wish they would not do this animated film and do an actual,
Live
uh,
action.
yeah,
I always wanted to pitch to Hollywood like a remake um, where Wednesday is the new like Morticia, and she has her own little family, and then they have to go visit like um, Angelica Houston, who's still I think together, for the most part. But yeah, I love Addams Family as a kid. That's one of those movies I saw with my family, and I was like, okay, I like horror, I like comedy, I like family stuff. This is perfect for me. Perfect for me.
Now,
Speaking
did
of,
you hear about
yeah,
another show like the Addams Family that came out at that time, The Munsters? Did you hear about a reboot happening like next year or something like that?
they've rebooted the Munsters so many weird times. Remember, ABC was going to do a Munsters television reboot,
Yeah,
and it had
this
like Jerry
has
O'Connell.
this has Stephen Myers connected to it
Really?
now.
Hmm.
Yeah,
As long as it's black and white. There's only a couple of shows that just never look good in color.
and
Like
it's
the
gone.
Munsters, and gone. The Munsters never look good in color. Like Gilligan's Island, Lucy, they just never look good in color, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I prefer the black and whites. So if they
I
wanted to
said.
do a black and white show, perfect.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I mean?
apologize. I meant to say Seth Myers, not Stephen Myers.
Oh,
Stephen Myers is
yes.
a scientist, quote unquote
Are you talking
scientist.
about
Seth
our
Myers is
Stephen
a
Moyer, who played what's his face
Stephen
on
Myers.
True Blood? He's
Oh, that could be it. He played. Yeah, Bill and Lillis
Bill
combined to
Compton.
make Billis.
Billis.
Oh,
Ugh.
get it? Dumb
I'm
show.
moving
Moving
on.
on.
Speaking of horror movies, speaking of horror based things,
Wonder
the
Woman 2.
Suspiria.
Suspiria.
Wonder Woman 2, I know, right? That's gonna be scary. Ay, chihuahua. The Suspiria remake trailer dropped, and not a lot of people know what Suspiria is. I mentioned it to a buddy of mine. He was like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "The Dario Argento classic." No, nothing.
No.
It's really an old school film. It's an old school horror film about an American transplant who goes to Europe to go to this illustrious ballet school, only to find out that it's ran by witches. And it's directed by one of the legendary Italian gialli directors, Dario Argento, and it's like real colorful, and it was kind of like a horror version of a Disney movie in a weird way. So the remake, they're going to of course try to remake it. I've heard it has him and his daughter's blessing. It looks pretty good. It doesn't look as good as Hereditary, but I'll talk about that later. But I did want to talk about that, about the horror heads, and it looks fine, I guess. Horror movies, it takes a lot to thrill me, especially with a trailer. And it looks fine. It looks okay. It looks meh. Another trailer that dropped today, or actually, you know what? I'll save that. Let's go into the Wreck-It Ralph trailer. Did you check this out? Did you see the first Wreck-It Ralph? What? Okay, this will just be.
I was busy.
So I like the first Wreck-It Ralph.
Busy reading books for college. I'm sorry, people.
Holy shit! I was busy being an intellectual.
I didn't say that. You said it, and it's
but
true.
And it's true. You didn't lie, neither did I. But yeah, so they go into the internet and it's kind of reminds me of the Emoji Movie in a weird way, where it's like every part of the internet is a town. So there's, like Snapchat town and Twitter town, but also there's like, it's like this is the first time Disney is stretching their muscle to say, hey, we have all these properties. So there's literally a Marvel town, a Pixar town, and a Star Wars town. So there's a scene where you see Iron Man being chased by a bunch of X-Wings, and it's really cool. And it's the first time you see Disney kind of like really expressing themselves, and to the point where it's like, yeah, we own all this stuff. Like the only other thing I can think that's going to do this is probably Kingdom Hearts 3, which is coming up at E3 next week. Oh, I can't wait. This week, actually. E3 is this week. Oh, man, I can't wait to talk about that. But there's one scene, because I was really mad about it until this one scene, and this really goes back to my Disney roots. where it's all the Disney princesses in the same room with the same art style. And I can't tell, but it sounds like they're all using their original voice actors, which would be kind of cool to kind of get them all in the same room at the same time on the screen. And that kind of intrigues me to see this movie because when I was working at Disney as a kid, I worked in Fantasyland and I worked in the Princess Tower where I was in customer service. And every day for 9 hours, I would listen to every princess song on rotation. Every one. Over and over and over.
Explains a lot.
To the point where I know them all by heart. I don't want to know them by heart. I know them all.
Yeah.
And I unironically love them.
Around the...
Because I was brainwashed.
Just the...
Riverbend?
An easy one.
Yes. By the way, for those who are wondering, Part of That World. It's my favorite one. Just so you know.
Part of what world?
Pro tips.
Pocahontas?
Pro tips. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat when you think my collection is complete?
Lady I said Lady Mermaid. And that's not the time.
I'm about to say Lady Marmalade. Maybe Lady Marmalade.
Yeah, it's not called
That'd be a cool.
The movie's not called Lady Mermaid. What is it called?
It's called A Little Mermaid, bro. It's one of the best Disney movies of all time. It's nothing better than Aladdin, though. Yeah. Fight me. Don't at me.
That's Boy Middle East, right? That's the title.
Boy Middle... Jeez. A Stockholm Syndrome werewolf. Abused parent glass.
Yes.
Moving on, the last trailer that dropped today was the trailer for the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse trailer, which looks like it's not made by Sony, and that's in the best way possible because it looks really good. And it's in an animation style that's like partly CG but partly hand-drawn, but also looks kind of stop motion-y. I can't explain the art style for this game, for this movie. And what it is I'm assuming it takes place in the Ultimates universe, and explaining what that is takes longer than what we have left on this podcast. Yeah,
just read the
Wikipedia just to know, Miles Morales is in it. He's the focal point. I know. Comic book nerd. But yes, Miles Morales is being trained by Peter Parker, and it looks really dope. And there's a secret at the end, which I won't spoil because I'm not mean. Well, at least not today anyway. And that wraps up the trailer rundown. If I missed any, let us know in the comments. I'm sure you will. Now, other news, since we're right on the cusp.
I believe I'm going to have to plug my ears because I cannot stand this game series.
Okay. So I'm gonna blast it in your ear like that one meme where the girl's walking down the street and holding her hair. And the guy has the toothbrush.
Die while you're saying it, but just rip it off like a Band-Aid. Just go for it. Yeah,
rip it off like a Band-Aid. I'm gonna do it real quick because I care for you, man. All right, Assassin's Creed trailer dropped. Well, not trailer, but Assassin's Creed Odyssey is gonna be the next game in Assassin's Creed. It's rumored to be in Greece around the time as Assassin's Creed Origins. It's going to be a lot of boat physics, which I'm already not interested in. It was spoiled by a keychain, something I guess they're going to be giving out at E3 during this week. There's a lot of E3 leaks. I'm not going to mention them all because I like facts, but I did want to talk about this one because I like the Origin a lot. Moving on for the sanity of winter.
Sometimes with some of the things we talk about here, it feels like I'm from Mars and you're from like Uranus or Venus or something like that.
Nice.
Nice, cool.
Yeah.
And these are one of these times. Like
that's
I know
fine,
very
man.
little about fighting games, nor do I own any.
Yeah.
Except for the ones that come free with Xbox Live sometimes. And I like those more than I like Assassin's Creed.
You know what? And that's fine because I wouldn't want a co-host who just agreed with everything I said or liked everything I liked. That's fine because you're into first-person shooters and stuff like that. Why do I have to be Ebert, man? Siskel's like at least didn't he outlive Ebert?
No, I get to be alive still.
Fine.
So the next part
I will haunt you and rate all your stuff. Oh man. So moving on from that, and I get it because I didn't really like Assassin's Creed until Origins myself, and I like Origins a lot. But moving on. Apparently Jeff Johns, the main DC creative head over at They Don't Know What They're Doing DC, has dropped a Wonder Woman 2 kind of tease. And apparently Wonder Woman 2, the sequel to Wonder Woman that came out last year, one of the best comic book movies of last year, is going to take place in 1984. My birth year. Old as shit. And I'm very interested to see what that's going to be about. And that's a big time jump from World War II, which World War One, for that matter. The original Wonder Woman took place in World War One. So I'm like, man, this could be what kind of heroes are they going to have then? Because that would be considered Golden Age or maybe Bronze Age.
Are they going to touch on the fact that Wonder Woman doesn't age, right?
Nah, she's kind of immortal. She ages like Superman.
So will Chris Pine's character age without her? Well,
spoilers. He died at the end of the first one. I
didn't watch the first one. Hashtag feminism. Yeah. But yeah, I'll get on watching it. Man.
So chances are it's going to be some weird thing like Captain America where she dates like an ancestor of his or something weird. It's really gross. But yeah,
I'm Chris Pine,
I just want them to play like...
Let's smash.
Yeah, it's going to be Chris Pine, but he's like, he was my grandfather and he died in the First World War. He was my great-grandfather. And Wonder Woman's going to be like, you come here while I fight Cheetah and listen to Grandmaster Flash. I just want Wonder Woman to have an Adidas suit and have the Wonder Woman gold chain.
Yeah.
And be like, bass.
Is she going to be inventing breakdancing during this time?
Wonder Woman invented breakdancing. She invented pop locking, bro. Wonder Woman was one of the she's the sixth element of hip hop. Her, Rakim, and KRS-One talked about it.
Like she's in LA and then like a guy goes, hey, come over here. And then he grabs her by the arm. Then she goes, can't touch this. And he knocks him out. Ooh. And then MC Hammer.
It's MC Hammer. What? Yeah, okay. I want Wonder Woman to be like Forrest Gump, and she accidentally creates the 80s.
Yeah. She takes a bite out of an apple and then hands it to a guy in a turtleneck, though. Here you go.
Nah, man. Some guys playing basketball. And he falls on the ground in the mud, and she cleans off his shirt, and she gives him the ball and she says, "Just do it." And the guy looks down at his shirt, and it's a Nike check. The guy's like, "What?" Oh, that would be amazing. That's all I want.
It's like she breaks something, and she has to put the mold back together, and then it like flash forwards to today, and it becomes what we now know as truck nuts. That'd be cool.
No, man. I was thinking, see where my head was going. I was thinking that something breaks apart like in a billion pieces, and she puts it back together real fast. And then she's like, and Themyscira to celebrate means Jenga. And she goes, Jenga. And she puts it together, and the guy just looks at her real hard and starts writing down notes. I want her to invent the pet rock and all that shit. I'm super hyped for this movie now.
There you go. You're welcome, America.
You're welcome, America. Let's keep the DC train rolling because there's a little bit of news about DC. The most irritating news of the week is that there is a Teen Titans Go movie coming out, like a movie animated film coming out based on Teen Titans Go, hated by all, loved by some. And apparently DC will bring back the original Teen Titans cartoon based on the success of Teen Titans Go.
Oh, it's a blackmail.
It's a blackmail. It's like okay. It's like, okay, Michael Jordan is on the bench, right? Yeah. You can take Michael Jordan off the bench if this 5-year-old can make 5 points in the game. The 5-year-old can't make 5 points in the game. We're not going to give you back Jordan. Yeah. I mean, that kind of sucks, right? It's like they're two totally different feels, and they're holding one hostage. You know what I mean? based on a lesser product. Yeah. And I hate to say that because there's a lot of Teen Titans Go fans, and I can't lie, some episodes are amusing, but it's bad form. I hate when companies do that. You know what I mean? It's just
it ain't right.
It's bad form. It ain't right. And speaking of things that aren't right, let's keep it going. And WB is planning a spin-off Joker movie featuring Jared Leto. They announced that it's going to happen.
And this is not the Martin Scorsese Joker movie that's supposed to happen?
No, or the other Joker movie that's supposed to happen with Harley Quinn. So there's like three or four Joker movies. There's 3 or 4 Joker movies that are in production right now. Just Joker movies.
I told you guys that this was going to be the outcome. Like, there's no longer going to be any original ideas for a movie. They're all going to have to be attached.
What are they thinking, man?
Yeah. DC is the epitome of this. We're just going to go for the ending of what these superhero movies are going to do. There's going to be no more original thought. They're all going to have to be fit into the cookie cutter shell of a superhero. And then I'm going to have to come along and write an Academy Award winning movie about my life. And it's going to change things around.
It's going to turn Hollywood on its ear.
Called Winter at Large.
Winter at Large. The winter of our discontent. Winter is coming.
I like that bit.
Yeah. And it's like DC just needs to relax. Like if DC took 5 years off and didn't make anything. Yeah, and just let's start this over. It's never going to happen, right? Because the shit train is already rolling. We got too much shit in this train.
And the train we need to add more.
And the train kept rolling. And it's like, and they just announced that like the main, like I guess the main person of DC Entertainment just stepped down, and she was like one of the people that the board of directors just didn't listen to because she wanted to try to right the ship because she knows what she's doing. I forget her name, escapes me at the moment. But it's like it sucks because Jeff Johns and her were the main ones trying to get good stuff out. You know what I mean? It's like they weren't listening because they were knee jerk businessman kind of Warner Brothers guys, and it's just like when you don't have a Kevin Feige who has the ear of Disney, who's like, just let me do this and I will keep making you money, and they trust him. If they don't trust you, they're gonna just put out stupid stuff like Batman v Superman, Justice League, Suicide Squad, all mistakes forced by the hand of Warner Brothers. And it's like they don't know what they're doing. This is like the most like haphazard thing in the world. It's like they're just picking at straws, and people love the Joker, right? Let's have 4 Joker movies before we have a Batman movie. Let's just put the cart way before the horse. It's exhausting, man.
A plague on your house, DC.
A plague on all your houses. And last bit of news of the week is that Square Enix, company that
most
makes
popular, known for Bouncer.
The Bounce, yes, for the Bouncer, and for Kingdom Hearts, and just the Bouncer. The Bouncer with Sora. Sora's a bouncer. Oh, jeez. They've been working on this Marvel project since like 2 E3s ago. And we're like, what are they working on? And it's just, it only showed like one little CG trailer. Didn't really say what it's about. The Avengers looked all broke off. It was kind of weird. But apparently there's a rumor mill, and we're so close to E3, so all these rumors are just springing out, is that it's going to be based off of a reboot of the Ultimate Alliance series. The game's back like in... Dang, when did Ultimate Alliance 1 come out? That was like PlayStation 3? Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Remember those games? I
remember playing it for PlayStation 2.
You may be right. Because I remember all those games, like the X-Men Legends games, Ultimate Alliance 1, Ultimate Alliance 2, and I liked them. They were like kind of like Diablo-style games where it was over the top kind of view. And you played as 4 heroes at the same time.
Yeah, but you can change them out, right? Oh.
Yeah, you can rotate out of them, and the other ones will just be on autopilot, and you can set like attack patterns for them, kind of like NPC attack patterns.
I didn't really like them too much because because there was like an XP system for some of them.
Yeah,
And then it would be like you have these super powerful characters, but then you have the wimpy ones that you don't really touch. Like Nightcrawler did not get enough time for me to use him. And then I kill him halfway into the game.
So you have to beat the game like 3 or 4 times. And I don't even think the game had like New Game Plus or anything like that.
Nope.
So it was really weird. So they would have to revamp the play style a lot, I think, to get that to a certain place. But I would like it because then you can play online. I like the idea of being able to play online, and each person can play as an individual hero. You know what I mean? It's just that what happens when everybody wants to be Iron Man? You know what I mean? Maybe they have different variations. So if everybody wants to be Iron Man, one person could be Iron Man, one person could be War Machine, the other person can be Rescue.
To be all Iron Mans.
We all want Tony Starks. It'd be garbage, dude.
You could be like early age Iron Man. They could be like futuristic Iron Man.
Yeah.
Then it could be Hulk Iron Man.
And Silver Centaurian Iron Man, you know? So, or it could be like an Overwatch system where you just got to be quick and pick your character before somebody else does. Or ask them, hey, I'm a Mercy main. Can you just get off Mercy?
You throw the game because you're upset.
And then you throw the game because you're upset. Oh, hey, I haven't had a chance to play as Brigitte yet. Can I play as Brigitte? Nah, fool. I was on Brigitte first. I'm just not. I'm just going to keep running off the side. Screw you guys. It's like, oh, man. Some guys, like guys on PC, have it set up to where they can automatically go to that character every time. It's like a split-second decision. Bastards. Oh.
That's why I'm Roadhog.
No one ever picks Roadhog. That's why that's why I'm Zarya, because no one ever like runs to Zarya. You know.
Zarya.
What?
Zarya. I'm the weakest against Zarya.
Oh man, I want to play you so bad, dude.
Not a good counter.
I love me some Zarya, man. She's my main. That's my chick. Oh man, we could talk Overwatch all day though. I'm gonna play some more tonight. I haven't played Overwatch in almost 6 months. I just stopped playing, but I'm gonna get back into it tonight.
Nothing to me until you get an Xbox.
I know, right? Ugh. Well, E3 is this weekend. If they give me a game that's Xbox exclusive, I'll buy the shit. I'll buy the shit. I'll buy it. Questions. Ready to answer some questions, winner?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. So if you want to ask me what game would I like to come out on the Xbox for me to buy the system, you can send those questions to mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. That is mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com.
I missed out. I didn't do that last episode.
That's okay.
So I remember.
There will be more. We always can make it up next time. First question. What can you think of an off-putting weird moment that you had while out in public? Not necessarily you had, but you may have witnessed. Like just you saw something like, what the hell?
Well, it'd be easier to narrow it down to just me being connected to this weird moment.
That's fine.
And the thing that comes to mind, because it still happens on the road with me, because back in high school, we had to take the bus from my house to the high school, like usual.
Right.
The problem was the drive was an hour and a half.
Ooh.
So, and most of the bus drivers would not stop if you needed to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And this is one of those days that I needed to go to the bathroom to just eject everything from my body.
Right.
So at the hour mark, I was just like humming like mantras in my mind to not have this scene, because it's like there's nothing I can do. I didn't bring pants. I didn't extra pair of pants. I didn't think this was going to happen. I have gym clothes, but they're still stinky because I didn't wash them for a month.
Right.
Because it's high school. And so I just like sucked it up and like, my body will not do this. I told myself, you are not doing this. And my body went, okay. And I just shut down and went to sleep.
Yeah. Your body went into rest mode. Fuck it.
Yeah. And it was like for a good month, if I got that bus driver, he's like, I'm surprised you made it. Something like that. I was
like, you are lucky I just didn't shit down the hall.
Yeah. And this was like, not kidding you, a week after someone told me about a kid who did like crap himself on the bus, and I'm like, I do not want to be this kid because they're still talking about this from like 6th grade.
Yeah, you will never live it down ever. Infinite, dude. Oh man, speaking of crapping,
so top that.
No, I can't top it, but because my dad went to New York for a family affair when I was a kid, and my earliest and most recent memory of New York was seeing someone literally crap while walking in a subway. Like a homeless gentleman literally just let his pants fall. He didn't even pull them down; it just kind of fell. And my man just let one go while walking down a freeway, not walking down the stairs to the subway. And this was like in Brooklyn. And
New York.
I was just in awe. I was just like, what the fuck?
We could just do that
here? My dad was like, just don't look in his eyes. Because if you look into the eyes of a man who would just shit himself on command, he's a man who would do anything. So I remember that as a very formative New York moment. And I've heard New York has gotten way better about crap like that, literally. And it's way gentrified and cleaned up, and there's no graffiti anywhere, whoop-de-whoop. But my New York...
Well, what year were you going to New York? In the 70s?
This is like in the,
You're not that
this is like in the 90s, dude. This is like 90, 95.
Yeah, it was already like they considered 80% cleaned up by then. You missed out on all the hookers.
I missed out like on the Death Wish shit where motherfuckers were getting shanked every night. Like the crazy New York, like street toughs running around causing trouble. It was just getting out of that, but apparently bums were still like, or homeless people rather, were still like, I'm just going to shit while I walk. And this is part of my life. And you guys have to deal with it now. So there's guys like walking behind him and not noticing. And they're just slipping on his shit. Like on the stairway.
No. Okay. We're moving on.
Next question.
All right.
New York. Oh, man. What's the coolest thing that you made with your hands? With your bare hands? What's the coolest thing you've made yourself?
Coolest thing I've made. Music.
I make music.
Yeah.
Make the music.
I'm actually on a little site called what's the site that you can sell your music on?
What? I don't know. SoundCloud?
I don't know. That's how rappers try to get known. I can't remember what the site is, and I have something on there. Dang it.
You need to get that together. Well, why do you think...
Well, I make music with my hands. And
what's your instrument of choice?
Acoustic guitar. Nice. We could talk about this real quick. I have discovered, like, I was always in standard tuning guitar, okay? And it was always an issue for me to hit high notes, like with some of the songs that people would want to play. And it upset me because it's like people are wanting me to sing like this. So I like spent years singing like in a false tenor sort of sound noise, so to say. And it worked because it's like, oh, he's a young guy. This is what they sound like. But now that I've discovered from my metalhead friends that, oh, well, you could just tune a whole half step down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this changes my whole life.
Yeah.
This makes everything a lot. Like, this puts it in my key.
If you're going to be singing and playing simultaneously, then you definitely want to tune your instrument to your voice. You know what I mean? Because I'm more of like a baritone when I sing. Yeah. So I tune my bass down as much as I can. So when I have to hit my G string, you know what I mean? It's still a bit.
Well, you're singing with a bass guitar? Yeah,
because I play bass, dude. Like I can't, I have to sing where I can sing. I mean, if Sting can do it, I can do it.
That is true. That is true.
You can do it, I can do it, damn it. The coolest thing I made with my hands was a volcano back like in second grade for a diorama. That shit was banging. Mind you, I'm an artist and I create art and shit. And I do like all types of like comic book art. And I made an ice sculpture once at a party. I got super drunk and made like someone's face or something. Apparently it was good. I couldn't remember. But no, that diorama with the dinosaurs and the volcano that spewed volcano juice, top notch, amazing.
I was thinking of Bandcamp, by the way.
Bandcamp, yeah, I know of that. That's good stuff. Yeah. Last question. Can you remember a movie trailer that you saw as a kid that blew your mind? You were just like, wow, as a little kid.
As a kid?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can think of a trailer that blew my mind. I think there was like a brief trailer for like a Ridley Scott film that was on Christopher Columbus that like disappeared rather quickly. I couldn't find it anywhere until
1492
yesterday. Yeah, 1492. And this was like in the beginning of Tremors 3.
Yeah.
The VHS tape.
Yeah.
And I loved me some Tremors 3. Just that one when I was a kid. And yeah, I was like, I need to see this movie, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Man, okay, I'm gonna date myself so bad, but it's one of the most epic things ever. Is when you're a kid. When I was a kid, I remember the day my dad brought home the Batman VHS tape, 1989 Batman. I remember it very distinctly. And before the movie started, there was a Diet Coke commercial with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. And at the end of the commercial, they put a little cape on the Diet Coke can. It was fluttering in the wind with the back signal behind it. And my little mind just exploded. I was like, I want a Batman Coke. I searched up and down, and my mom ended up making me one for my birthday. She got some leather, and she cut around it and made a Batman cape out of it. When I came home from school, it was standing like on top of a bookshelf with a fan in front of it. And so the cape was fluttering, and I literally just screamed for like an hour. And my mom was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that, because I think I broke Michael. And I just like, don't touch it. And I was like playing around it and having my Batman toy with my Joker toy. We were fighting in front of the can. Oh man, good times. I'm thinking about it right now. I need to move on. Yeah. Good questions. Good questions. Does anybody remember that? Remember the Batman, the Diet Coke Batman cape? It's fucking the best. Anyway, what are you looking forward to this week, man?
I'm looking forward to the weekend. Playing some Overwatch, and I got paid this week, so you know what I bought?
What you buy?
PUBG.
Yeah.
I've been playing PUBG and feeling like a rock star. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's what's up,
I also downloaded Fortnite, and I won't play no more. Okay, this is like borderline rapping about Minecraft.
Yeah, we're losing it, but that's okay. Yeah. E3 is this week, man. Electronic Arts.
Oh, yeah, E3.
I'm going to watch me some E3, bruh. So I may do something special for E3. I don't know. I'm working on it. We'll see. So definitely want to check out the Microsoft, because I really want them to give me a reason to spend money. Definitely looking forward to the Sony conference. I'm looking forward to the Bethesda conference. I want to see what fighting game news comes out. Hopefully we get Mortal Kombat 11. Hopefully we get some stuff for Soul Calibur 7. I'm just really hyped for E3. I love E3. I've gone to a couple of E3s. Always meet interesting people there. I got to play Will Wheaton and Pac-Man, like challenging Pac-Man once.
Wait, you got to play against Will Wheaton?
Yeah, I was at E3, and I was working for the Namco booth because I got a job there, and Will Wheaton just walked up and he white screened Pac-Man in one sitting. I was like, geez, I have to play you.
Wow.
So I played him head to head on Pac-Man. He whooped my ass, and I shook his hand. Didn't take a picture because I didn't want to bother him too much. And he was out.
Yeah.
Good experience. Loved it. He's a good guy.
Cut some of his hair.
Okay. I ate some of his hair. I cut a little piece while he wasn't paying attention, and I ate it. Yeah. And now we're together forever. So looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to going to go see Hereditary. It looks like a really good horror movie. And I have to go see Ocean's 8. Even though I kind of don't want to see it because I have a feeling it's going to be bad. But I love me some Ocean. I love the Ocean's trilogy. It's one of my favorite trilogies, like complete trilogies. And I know that this may not be great, but I don't want to pass judgment too much. So
definitely. But it will be canon.
It will be canon. And that's why I have to see it. So I'm just like, I'm rolling my eyes. Anywho, is there you have any closing thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah, I meant to say Richard Roper, not Gene Siskel, when I made the little dig that I'll be Roper, you'll be Ebert.
You could be Roper, man.
Because Siskel's dead.
Siskel's super dead. And Roper, he's probably eating like a Philly cheesesteak somewhere right now, dude.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he's having an Arnold Palmer eating a Philly cheesesteak in Philly, and it's like, I hated The Last Jedi. Bastard.
How dare you?
All right. How dare you? If you dare us, please dare to visit our website, mastersofthenerdiversecast.com, where you can listen to older past episodes, especially the very first episodes, where I'm literally transforming like that guy from Altered States live on the radio audios. So listen to that. Look at some of our artwork. Look at the master so you can get an idea of what me and Winter look like, and then you will despair. Or you can visit our Patreon and throw a couple of ducats our way. I promise that I will add Patreon incentives once I know how to do that. Patreon is weird. And if you wanted to help us out non-monetarily, you can always like, comment, and subscribe on the vertical that you are using to hear us. May it be iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, or Google Play. And if you are from the age of apocalypse future, then maybe you're listening to us on Spotify as well. I have been, of course, your host, Mike G.
And I've been Winter Sturdivant.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.